way responsible for the performance-enhancing drugs that are being used by fighters that fought in his gym. Specifically, off the top of my head, you have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez had popped for Clenbuterol.
Especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him.
And Canelo, man, I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices.
Boxing pros are calling out Canelo Alvarez for using steroids before the Terence Crawford fight, raising serious questions about his sudden muscle gain and past failed PD tests. David Benavidez also jumps in, asking why Canelo keeps avoiding him if he's really confident. He points out that 5 people from Canelo's camp tested positive for steroids, calling the whole team dirty, including Canelo himself, adding more heat to the growing controversy around this fight.
Greatest Mexican boxing fights of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. So I feel like I'm 100% confident in myself. If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me. Especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him. He never got off
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. Sure. How does 5?
You saw De La Hoya
How do 5 people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. You know what I mean? No, all those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
I seen Eddie Reynoso on my fight, so we made a joke. He said like he came to watch me the fight and shit. And then they're like, "Oh, you think he's?" In my head, I'm like, what do you think Eddie Reynoso's thinking about? He's like, are we gonna fight David Benavidez after seeing this fight? In his head, Eddie Reynoso's like, fuck no, we not fighting him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, honestly, I don't blame Canelo. It's fucked up because there's a lot of money.
It's not even about the money. It's not about the money.
Yeah, but okay, 100 million, dude. You kidding me?
The first step when you're a fucking warrior, bro, the only thing you think about is glory. I've never thought about money. I've been smart. I'm negotiating my shit. But it's always a prize, bro. It's always, if I go out there and beat Canelo, bro, I'm a legend. You know what I mean? That I'm gonna live forever in boxing as a legend. That means way more to me than any type of money.
And I think that separates you too, David. And I admire that shit about you. I was like that at one point. Now how much you give me?
Yeah.
and not to just bypass him. Shout out to Morel as well.
Yeah, shout out to
to be
Eddie Reynoso's gym is under fire as accusations swirl that he personally gives fighters in his camp performance-enhancing drugs. That includes Canelo Alvarez, who trains under Reynoso and has already been hit with steroid allegations twice. Critics note that multiple fighters from the same gym have tested positive, raising major red flags about what's really going on there. Now, as Canelo gears up to face Terence Crawford, many are asking how he's managing to bulk up so fast again.
Addressed serious accusations about his gym. And the accusations are that people, or at least the implications are, that he is the one that is providing performance-enhancing drugs or is in some way responsible for the performance-enhancing drugs that are being used by fighters that fought in his gym. Specifically, off the top of my head, you have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez had popped for Clenbuterol 2 times. For Fahim Satur, I'll say that he did it 2 times, even though I think it was for the same fight. But Canelo Alvarez popped dirty for Clenbuterol 2 times. You have Luis Nery, who had tested positive, but I think Luis Nery tested positive before he was with Eddie Reynoso. Then you have Ryan Garcia, who popped dirty after he left Eddie Reynoso and went over to Derek James. And then you have Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez popped dirty while he was with Eddie Reynoso, but at the time he was still allowed to fight. You also clearly see that you have an issue with the fight that's coming up with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, in that you have one guy that tested positive and you have another guy that looks like he's using in order to get up and continue to climb up weight classes. You know, at a certain point in time, and this is something that Rolly Romero has said, certain point in time, your body just doesn't do that. At a certain point in time, your body just doesn't do it. I'm 6'2", 200, and should weigh about 210. Closer to 250, but I should weigh about 210. I'm not gonna get up. If I was 210 now at 50 years old, by 55 years old, the only way I'm gonna get up to 260 of muscle is if I'm juicing.
Experts say it's nearly impossible to pack on serious muscle naturally in your 30s. But Canelo looks way bigger than he ever did before. That's only adding fuel to the fire, especially with Reynoso's gym already tied to past PED scandals. Now both fans and analysts are asking the tough question. Is Canelo's transformation real, or are steroids once again secretly influencing the biggest fights in boxing?
If for a 30-year-old, right, you remember, your body grows, men's body can grow in height and length up until you're to the extreme in your 20s. By the time you're 20, your height and all that stuff is there, right? Your height and your length. In your mid-20s, by the time you're 29, your musculature is pretty much there. It gets harder to gain and put on muscle after 30. So Canelo Alvarez is about to fight a guy that is going to put on 20 pounds of muscle.
Joe Rogan's comments about Canelo Alvarez have lit a fire in the boxing world. As someone who knows elite performance, Rogan called it strange to see a fighter in his 30s pack on muscle so fast. He explained that building muscle naturally gets way harder with age, yet Canelo seems to be getting bigger with ease. To Rogan, this isn't just suspicion, it's basic science. He believes that kind of transformation is nearly impossible without extra help. And when someone like Rogan speaks up, people start to question everything.
Canelo, man, I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices. But I'm a Triple G fan, so I'm a say that ahead of time. I just like Triple G.
There's a lot of money on the line, and if I could get away with it, I would do it as well.
Some tainted beefs.
I think, he definitely got busted once for something, but it could have been from tainted beef. We don't know. But it also could be that, we should probably leave them alone and let them do whatever they want to do. Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight or not? Right? I want to see him juiced up, fighting at 45 years of age, coming in with a full six-pack, lighting people on fire.
As the Canelo versus Terence Crawford fight gets closer, the steroid talk is getting louder among fans and boxing experts. Many openly say they wouldn't be surprised if Canelo is using PEDs. Why? Because he has everything: elite gyms, top doctors, world-class nutritionists, and unlimited recovery tools. When a fighter has that kind of access and pressure to stay on top, the urge to cheat becomes very real. Critics argue Canelo's setup gives him the perfect cover to use banned substances without getting caught right away.
What up, everybody? It's your boy MC from MCTV. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo Alvarez is on steroids right now as we speak and is going to be fully juiced with something that hasn't even hit the market yet. Think about it. He's pretty much a billionaire. He has access to everything.
Floyd Mayweather never holds back, especially when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. He's called out the steroid issue before, saying people are just too scared to talk about it. Floyd believes there's a double standard in boxing, where some fighters get a free pass, and Canelo is one of them. In Mayweather's eyes, promoters, media, and fans all stay quiet because Canelo is a cash machine. But Floyd's not staying silent. He says steroid use isn't just cheating. It's dangerous, and it destroys the honesty of the sport.
But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
With all these red flags, fans are asking, is Canelo really clean or just protected by power and money? Hit like, smash that subscribe button, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We want the truth.